Hello everyone. Sorry I couldn't do this part of the presentation in person. I was meant to, but last minute now I'm on a training day in Bristol. So I thought I would do this cool fancy dancy speaking over a video thing. So the river of the month this month is the River Lune, which is the river that I grew up next to almost my whole life and I've been swimming in for a very long time. So to provide more context or to situate it, it is in the northwest of England. So it flows through parts of the Yorkshire Dales, parts of Cumbria, and the Forest of Bowland in Lancashire. So I'm focusing on the Forest of Bowland because that's where I grew up, just underneath the Lake District. And now I'm following the path of the river out to sea. And you can see that it's a very rural area. There's not many cities around these parts. So just to zoom in further then, this is drone footage taken by my dad from the bottom of my parents' field. And we can see this part of the river valley in the Forest of Bowland. Also, this presentation was the talk of my village. So some of the video clips we're going to see were sent in by people who live in the village because they were all very excited that this was happening. So now this is drone footage that Dad and I took on Easter weekend. And I'm just going to talk over the footage and point out some interesting things about the river. So firstly, apparently it was a rumour in my school that this was the Queen's favourite river valley, but who knows if that's true. Yep, and now we spin around and we can see that the water levels are really, really low at this moment in time, but they have been a lot higher, particularly in Storm Desmond in 2015, which we'll see some footage of later. But that storm really affected this river and valley and caused a lot of damage. So on the right, we can see some cows, and they are actually really important in terms of water quality. So these cows used to be able to come and drink from the river, but now there are fences all along the riverside, and this stops the cows coming down, churning up the riverbanks and defecating into the water, and that's actually really improved water quality in these parts. And then this is a little egret, which is a bird you don't normally see around these parts. You normally see them in the south of England, and actually they weren't in the UK before 1989. But as climate change happens, and things are warming up, they're moving further north. So I was surprised to see one. And now we can see all these sand martins trying to take down the drone. So sand martins have always nested in the riverbanks along this river, but since Storm Desmond we haven't seen them, but this year we have. So they're nesting in the banks that you can see there on the right, and now they don't like the drone and they are really, really trying to take it down. So this is Dad and I trying to fly the drone back before they manage it. But it's quite nice footage of the sand martins on a nice sunny day. So we're about to see footage of Storm Desmond. That was the worst flood for 600 years in these parts. There you go, we can see it now. So sorry, it's a bit of a shaky footage. But we can see, that's in the background, you can see where the bridge was that Dad and I were standing on, and it's all completely flooded. So one person actually died during Storm Desmond. They fell into the river in Kendal, but thankfully I haven't seen anything as bad as that since, and like I said, the riverbanks are recovering since that time. But yes, thank you for listening to my presentation. Bye.